I'm joined now with Daphne Ashbrook, who's best known in the UK for her roles as Melora in Deep Space Nine.
Yes.
And as amazing Dr. Grace Holloway.
Thank you.
In the Doctor Who movie. Daphne, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start with Deep Space Nine.
Yes.
When you played Melora.
Yes.
She was quite an important character in Deep Space Nine. At the time, she was an allegory for people with disabilities.
Yes.
How did you feel taking on a role such as that and the significance it plays for a major part of the show's audience?
Well, it really mattered to me because I have someone in my family who is in a wheelchair and happens to be one of the smartest people I know. Just graduated from Berkeley not too long ago, and funny as can be, sharp as a tack, but outwardly it looks like you don't know. And she is brilliant, and she's my beautiful cousin Alba, and she's going to go far. So, and they are not well represented. People in that condition and with handicaps, etc., are not well represented in the industry, and so it's always nice to have something like that shown and talked about and learned about. And the author or the writer of that particular episode was in a wheelchair and had fought for quite a while to get that episode aired. And so he was quite excited and came down to the set, and we had a quick chat while I was on the set, and he was lovely. And it does matter. I mean, I think it does with any minority to get them out there in our television sets and in our homes and point to it, talk about it, don't be afraid of it. I played another character in a wheelchair in another show, and they gave me a wheelchair for the weekend to practice. And I took it out in public, and it was amazing how people just didn't look at me.
Wow.
And I was struggling at one point to get up a ramp, and a man did come over and say, "Can I help you?" And I went, No, that's okay, I've got it. And he refused to let me do it myself. He just pushed me on through. So that was interesting as well. Sort of a weird kind of combination of being seen but not being seen. Very interesting, and it has to be incredibly challenging, and so it is important to get it out there, and I think hats off to Deep Space for doing that.
So does it bother you that hasn't been approached in any other science fiction programs where characters with disabilities have been an integral part of a plot?
Well, I can't really judge. I'm not in charge. I'm not in a position where I can really... I am writing, and honestly, I deal with a lot of people that are handicapped in my writing, mentally. So it would be good for me to transfer that also, or continue on, and bring that kind of a subject matter into my own work. So I guess I can fault myself for not having done that as of yet. Not that any of my subjects have yet, but one has. But that was more of a mental issue. So yeah, I think it's good, and I certainly should start looking into doing that myself. I think it's interesting. I think everybody with a flaw of some sort, either mental or emotionally or physically, and I don't even know if that's a fair thing to say. It's a flaw. It's just who they are,
Yeah.
And they are beautiful. So there's beauty in everything, in all our flaws. So yeah.
And it's great that such a character like Melora is still so fondly remembered and so important even now. It must be 20 plus years since that episode first went out?
Oh my gosh, I'm not even sure what year that was. Was it 98?
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure, but it was a long, and
it was in the
far
90s.
Time, yes.
In the 90s. Okay, we'll move on to Dr. Grace, because no conversation with Daphne Ashbrook would be complete without at least mentioning the kiss.
Oh, yes.
Do you think, looking back now after 12 years of new Doctor Who, that Grace was in some way a template for the new style of companion?
I have to think that it influenced the new series somewhat. From what I've been told, and like I've said so many times in the past, I was not privy to Doctor Who prior to the show, so I didn't know. But since then, I've had many conversations with people who've said, if you take 4 of the new companions and combine them, you get Grace.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's interesting, and I feel very honored to have been able to play a part in that.
Because you got a character like Grace who when we join her in the story, she's got her own complicated love life, she's got her own successful career, and one of only 2 companions to ever knock the Doctor back for a journey in the TARDIS.
That's one way of putting it, you know? Yeah. She was busy, that character. She saved the world.
Absolutely.
She saved the Doctor.
Absolutely.
She also killed the Doctor. I think to this date, she's the only companion to have accidentally killed the Doctor. So, and then, of course, been on a journey with the new Doctor, you know. So it was really actually a very kind of pivotal character in that way.
And you were, up until recently, one of only 10 actors or actresses who could be part of the Star Trek and Doctor Who canon until Nana Visitor popped up in Torchwood a couple of years ago. How does it feel being part of such an elite group of people?
I didn't know it until a fan told me about that, and I was thrilled, actually. Yeah, okay. I didn't plan it. It was just luck, you know. So it actually is really wonderful, especially at events like this one, because there are so many different kinds of fans through people. And so I've actually done well by Melora this weekend, which has been fantastic, you know, because she is a really great role, you know. It was a really great character. So it's nice to know that people are aware of both of those, you know, and I feel very honored to have been part of 2 big, huge franchises.
That's quite strange, because the other way around, there's no Doctor Who cast who've been in Star Trek. I think Colin Baker's done one of the Star Trek Continues web episodes, but I can't think of any off the top of my head that have actually done a proper episode of Star Trek.
Oh, you know what? I didn't ever think of that. Ha-ha! I feel very powerful now.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I've also noted, when I've been looking through your resume, that you've branched into music, and I believe you were singing last night, was it?
Yeah, no, Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yes, I've done 2 albums. The first one was Grace Notes. Grace.
Yes, I thought that might be the case.
Yes, and also it's a term in music, you know, so that worked beautifully. Gary Russell came up with that title, so I was like, thank you very much, thank you. And my second one was called All Good Dreamers, which is a line from a Joni Mitchell tune, who I'm a huge fan of Joni Mitchell, and I've done several of her tunes on both albums, along with Patty Griffin, who I'm a huge fan of, and let's see,
Carole King.
I've done some Carole.
Because that is my favorite track on Grace Notes. Is your cover of It's Too Late.
I almost did that on Thursday, but I couldn't find the track in time. So yeah.
Adore that song.
Thank you.
Absolutely, and your cover's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, they're all covers. Yeah.
So listeners, those albums are available from all good digital and retailers out there?
Yes, they are available everywhere, but you can definitely get it from my store on my website.
Excellent.
And I will sign it and ship it off. So,
and what's your website?
DaphneAshbrook.com.
There we go, listeners. You can get your own signed copies.
Yes.
Okay, so also, looking through your resume, I see that not only have you done an awful lot of cult TV and movies, you've done an awful lot of crime dramas. So are you the queen of crime over in US TV?
So, I mean, I ended up writing a book called Dead Woman Laughing, because I realized over the years, it took a while for me to realize this, but I've killed a lot of people. I've also died a whole heck of a lot. So I thought, this is a cool theme.
So they always say, write about what you know best.
That's right. And I also had several moments during my career where I'm standing on the set doing the weirdest things, and I just think, I can't believe I get paid to do this. You know, it's just crazy.
One of the best jobs in the world.
It really is. It's wonderful. It gives back in many ways, as I've found. Yes.
Brilliant. With events like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I meet people like me.
People like you, and people like Paul McGann and Sylvester McCoy, and I've met many of the doctors and many of the companions, and I'm just nothing but gobsmacked whenever I see them. They're all lovely and they're all brilliant. So
you're a very special family now, aren't
yes.
you? Being a doctor with them.
Yes.
They all seem to get on. They all.
Yeah, everybody loves everybody, and it's like a home. It's like family, really.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So can I take you back through some of your cult TV appearances?
Sure.
I do want to ask particularly about one, because it's one of my favourite ever shows.
Okay.
And you did an episode of it back in 1984, I think it was.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Go on, what do you think I'm talking
Knight
about?
Rider.
No!
No?
Fame.
Oh my gosh! Fame!
Yes.
Oh, very good.
You did an episode of Fame. What do you remember of that?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was playing I was auditioning for a Czechoslovakian ballerina.
Yeah?
Neither of which am I. And I did not have a handle on the dialect at all. So I was making it up as I went along. I totally made it up. And I thought they're going to totally kick me out of here. They're going to say, what the heck is that? Get out of here. But they didn't. And so I got through that portion of the audition, and they called me back, and I was excited. And then I realized, oh my gosh, they're going to have me dance.
Oh, yes.
I am not a ballerina. I'm what you call a sham dancer. I know how to do just enough to make it look like I know what I'm doing when I'm doing a theater performance where I have to sing and dance, right? So sham dancing. I showed up, and all the beautiful, amazing, talented, for real dancers were there. So I wanted to crawl into a hole and cover myself up immediately, but I stuck it out. And weirdly, there was the Debbie Allen, who was usually the dance combo person, was not there. So her assistant was doing this.
Yeah, she's not in that episode yet.
No. And this person was doing all these incredibly difficult combinations across the floor. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. And luckily, the dancers were having a lot of trouble doing it. So I felt a little bit better. But it was still humiliating. And there was one actress that was there auditioning for the part as well. And I thought, okay, well, and she was struggling too, so we were both in the same boat. And I just got so humiliated at one point, I started to pick my bag up to go. I was just going to leave. And one of the dancers that was a regular on the show was there. And I'd worked with her. I'd done a 10-week shoot on a movie with her. And she came up to me and she saw me picking my bag up and she said, put it down. And I said, but I can't do this stuff. And she said, just keep trying. So I put the bag down and I kept on doing the stuff, and I was terrible. But the other girl chickened out at some point and she left and I got the part. So that was a nice lesson. Just keep trying. Do what you're afraid of. Keep working on it, and good things can happen.
And it's a neat little episode as well.
Yeah.
And you break Chris's heart at the end. So.
I know, it was terrible, right? I had to go back home or something, right?
Yes, very end.
Very, very sad.
So now let's move on to Knight Rider.
All right.
So tell me about Knight Rider and what you did.
Well, that was incredibly exciting. I mean, I obviously had seen the show, and I had only done 2 co-star jobs up to that point, so which means 2 small parts. And then when I got this guest star part, the big part, and thought I'd made it. Little did I know. But no, I was very excited, and it was a great shoot. Everybody was really kind. I really didn't know a lot about what I was doing film-wise at that point. I'd done a lot of theater, but not a lot of film. So I really was just learning as I went. And David was wonderful. He was very funny, and he kept the set light. And it was very funny.
To you?
Probably. I mean, probably. Almost every actor that can sing does burst out into song at some point. But he was delightful. So it was a lovely experience, and it kind of kick-started everything after that.
Brilliant, because then you also did Street Hawk.
Yes.
And what do you remember of Street Hawk?
I remember they were dressing me up like Madonna a lot. And I remember a lot of running in high heels, and I remember a lot of smoke and motorcycles.
Yeah, that's pretty much the show in a bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it. That's all I got.
Oh, brilliant. So, is there anything that you're currently working on that we should be looking forward to?
Yes, I'm minutes away from completing a short that I shot a couple years ago, but I've been struggling to get all the audio complete with that, and I literally am one small audio clip away from that being fixed. And then I just have to add some more names into my credits, and we'll watermark that baby and get it out to all the festival circuits. So that's what's about to happen. The other thing that I'm working on right now is another short. It's a spoof. It's called Outlandish. And the most I can say right now about it is that you will recognize a lot of actors in it.
Okay, so will that be available on
It depends. It really just depends. I mean, it could go the festival circuit. It could be sold somewhere. It could end up maybe even being a series.
Wow.
So we'll find out. I mean, I have to shoot it first. So I'm looking for locations in the UK right now because it's both shot in America and here. I know.
Wales.
I take pictures, my friend, all the time. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm very excited about that one, actually.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to that.
Yeah, yay.
Well, I will say thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll let you get back to the rest of the event.
You're adorable.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're adorable. Thank you,
Cheers,
sweetheart.
Daphne. Thank you very,
You're
very
lovely,
much.
delightful.